Hi children, you are welcome to another new lesson. So my dear children, we are going to start with a particular poem which is a very famous poem, which is the true poem, which is lyrical in nature, and the poem was written by John Keats. John Keats. Have you heard of John Keats? This is John Keats, my dear children. This is John Keats. John Keats was born in the year 1795, 31st October, in London, England, and he died in February 23rd, 1821, in Rome. So he was an English poet, English romantic lyric poet who devoted his short life to the perfection of the poetry, marked by vivid imagery, great sensuous appeal, and an attempt to express a philosophy through classical legend. So my dear children, so we are fortunate enough to study a particular poem written by world famous John Keats, who is known for the sensuous beauty. Beauty in the sensuous form means as if beauty appeals, as if beauty is a thing, a living thing, and that appeals to the senses, various senses. Therefore, let us continue. So, this is the picture of John Keats, my dear children. Who was John Keats? John Keats was an English romantic poet. When he was born in the year 1795 in London, and the date was 31st October. In 1816, Keats became a licensed apothecary, but he never practiced his profession, deciding instead to write poetry. In July 1820, he published his third and the best volume of poetry, Lamia, Isabella, The Eve of St. Agnes, and other poems. So, my dear children, John Keats was particularly famous for the odes, odes to Grecian urn. He was particularly famous for the poetic romance like the Endymion, and the present poem that we are going to start with is also as an extract from that great poetic romance Endymion, where we can see or we can notice the love of human with the moon goddess Selene, 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 which was called by the poet as Cynthia, was called as Cynthia. Then let us continue. So here we go. The excerpt A Thing of Beauty by John Keats, taken from a larger poem Endymion, which is a poetic romance. A poetic romance is written in the poetic style of writing. A thing of beauty romanticizes beauty as something that has the ability to transform life. This is quite important, my dear children. So we can read a poem on the surface. We can read the poem for the greater inner value or the spiritual value in it. Therefore, in order to appreciate the poem, we need to understand both the level, surface level and deeper level, inner meaning and outer meaning. So, what we have noticed, so in the daffodils, my dear children, in the poem Daffodils, towards the end the poet says that, when on my couch I lie, vacant or pensive, they flash in my inward eye, and that become a bliss of solitude. Means this particular thing of beauty become an everlasting source of joy for the poet, whether he is sad or pensive, or whether he is vacant or carefree, or jolly mood, entertaining mood. Therefore, they are the everlasting source of joy. And the poet here also wanted to tell us the same thing, that beauty has a capacity to transform life. It can transform life because the modern life, particularly the modern life, is full of worries. Modern life is full of worries, and this the beauteous aspect of nature. The beauteous aspect, they have the capacity of transforming life and make a life worthy. Make life worthy. Then let us continue. Romanticizing is about investing object with larger than the attributes. It is about extolling to the virtue of an object. It could be any object, the parts beloved, nature, beauty, anything that has impacted the mind of the poet. So we are talking about the romanticize. Okay? romantic, romantic. Suppose when we are talking about the word romantic, it is an adjective. John Keats was a romantic poet, is an adjective. It actually tells about the kind of the poet he was. So in romanticism, what we notice is that there is excessive emotion and imagination. There is exuberance or excessiveness of imagination. That is one of the quality of romanticism, where there is the fancy, where there is the excessiveness of fancy or imagination. Now when we are using the verb form of it, the verb form of romanticize, he romanticizes the beauty, means he tells that beauty is not simply beauty, it has the capacity of transforming life, it has the capacity of transforming the mind and the soul, it has the capacity of purifying your soul. Therefore, the poet make the suggestion that the beautiful things are the things to be cherished, the things to be preserved. Then let us continue with the explanation once again. A thing of beauty is a poem written by famous romantic poet John Keats. The poem tells about how nature and its wonder mesmerize us and take away all of the sorrow that surround us from time to time. So as we have already talked about, this life actually, life means sorrows or worries. Sorrows or worries that actually comes from time to time, and that also come under the way of our leading the life, and it is the beautiful thing that has the capacity of impacting our life and changing our life and driving away the dark moment, the sad moment, the pensive moment from our life. Therefore, let us continue. The following explanation might aid you in understanding this exceptional piece of work in poetry. So we are going for the explanation of the poem, and before that we will be going in a systematic manner. We will see the background, we will see the title, we will also see the poetic devices, we will see the line by line explanation, the direct meaning, indirect meaning, the figurative meaning, symbolic meaning, everything will understand and see. Before proceeding, let us see what is the genre. So my dear children, we already talked about what is a genre. Genre means what? Genre means the kind, what sort of poem it is. If we do not know the specification or the kind, if we do not know the class of the poem, then it becomes very impossible for understanding of the poem. So it is better to know. A thing of beauty belongs to the romantic genre. It belongs to the romantic genre. First published in 1818, the poem A Thing of Beauty is written in the rhyming couplet. The rhyme scheme employed is A A B B. the poet has used the iambic pentameter into the poem. So we'll analyze all this. What is a rhyming couplet? What is a rhyming scheme? How this rhyming scheme is used here? What sort of poem it is? This one is a romantic poem, and it is taken from the great poetic romance Endymion. Therefore, the theme of the poem, as we have discussed, so that the theme of the poem will be, it is based on what? So if we go to the title, then we can see that the title is A Thing of Beauty. A Thing of Beauty. That means what is the particular object it talks about? It talks about the beauty. Beauty in different form. Beauty may be the external beauty or maybe the internal beauty. And if we go deeper, then we will understand that the poet gives more importance or preference to the inner beauty or the spiritual beauty or the devotional beauty. So a thing of beauty in this particular poem, the title actually talks about what? The beauty. Beauty and its quality. So what is the quality of the beauty, or what is the work of the beauty? Beauty can transform life. It is having the healing quality. It is having the curing quality. Okay, this is the theme of the lesson. So the theme of the lesson is based on the word beauty and the quality of the beauty, or the attributes of the beauty, that beauty has the capacity of transforming life. It has the capacity to cure and heal the troubled mind and bodies. Let's see the meaning. The central theme of the poem revolves around the beauty in all its forms, earthly beauty and spiritual beauty. The poet talks about how important beauty is for all of us. He highlights the transformational, therapeutic and spiritual impact of the beauty on all our lives. See these lines. He highlights, he gives a special preference or the flashlight on that particular quality. What is that? It can transform. It can transform man. It can transform mind and soul. It has the therapeutic use, means it can cure. It is also having the spiritual significance. It is also having the spiritual association or meaning. Wordsworth suggested that a beauty has a therapeutic quality, the ability to cure and heal troubled minds and bodies. We have seen in daffodils also the same thing, that the beauty is having the therapeutic quality. It has the ability to cure and heal the troubled minds and soul, and also bodies. Then let us see and continue. Here we go. The poet's message. The poet's message is that beauty has the ability to transform life, can dispel negativism and dark thought. Beauty can also remove the sting from grief. It can help one survive even when there is a dearth of noble nature, when one is surrounded by the hostile or malicious people. So this is the practical aspect of the beauty and the healing touch the beauty has. When you are living on this earth, you may encounter lot of troubles or problems, and this problem can be solved by the beauty in its various forms. Beauty has a positive impact on one's health. It can help steady the breathing. It can give one sound sleep. John Keats suggested that beauty can be found everywhere in life. As such, it draws a list of beautiful things which include the sun, the moon, trees, daffodils, musk rose blooms, simple sheep, and beauty can also be found in the stories of the bravery, courage, sacrifice shown by people who are not afraid to die for a greater cause. Different form of the beauty is now listed. So some of the beauty you cannot see, and this is related to the stories or the tells of the valor or the courage or the patriotism who laid down their life for the cause of the country and inspire people also to lay down their life for the cause of the country when need be. Wordsworth expresses the idea of the beauty being spiritual in nature, and that the ultimate goal of appreciating beauty should be to appreciate God who created beautiful things for us. The main motive here is the religious motive or the devotional motive. So who is the creator of the beautiful things? The creator of the beautiful things is God. So we are talking about the beautiful things. That actually gives a lot of pleasure. It is having therapeutic use. But the main creator of this beautiful thing is God. Therefore, it is a God who actually, through some media or the agency, help people in various way. And therefore, the theme also is religious. Theme means we are appreciating God through this poem. So then let us continue. So we'll see now the analysis of the poem. Let us go for the analysis of the poem. First, let me read out the full poem, and after that we will go line by line. I will take some section which will be regarded as being stranger, and will explain it in simple term. Let us go for the poem. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a bower cut for us, and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. Therefore, on every morrow we are reading a flowery band to bind us to the earth, spite of despondence, of inhuman dearth of noble nature, of gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and overdarkened ways made for our searching. Yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves out of the pole from our dark spirit, such as the sun, the moon, the trees old young, sprouting a shady boom, for simple sheep and such are daffodils, with the green world they live in and clear rills, that for themselves equaling covered, make against the hot season the meat for his bread, rich with a sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms, and such to eat the grandeur of the dooms we have imagined for the mighty day, all lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal drink pouring unto us from the heavens bring. So, my dear children, you have heard the model reading of the lesson. So, we'll see the first 5 lines of the poem now, and let us go for the explanation of the first 5 lines. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases, it will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a bower put for us, and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health quite breathing. So, my dear children, first let us see a thing of beauty is a joy forever. This line reads as the maxim, reads as the proverb. Means a thing of beauty. Say for example, we are talking of the daffodils. We are talking of the daffodils. Daffodils. You see the daffodil by the side of the lake or the river, hopping and jumping when the breeze blows. So this is a joy forever, or this is a constant joy. Means this joy is not transient or temporary. It is not temporary. Temporary. It is not temporary. On the other hand, it is permanent. It is permanent. It is permanent. Alright? It is permanent in nature. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness. As time passes, this beauty that you recollect, that you remember, that flash back in your mind when you are taking rest, the loveliness, the precious quality, the importance of it multiplies, or it goes on increasing as time passes, or as time rolls on. But it will keep a bower quite for us. It will keep a bower. What is a bower, my dear children? Bower is a shady enclosure. Shady enclosure. Enclosure. So this beauteous aspect, or the beautiful thing will make what? A bower for us. Now see, so we are talking about the beautiful things. Now they are compared to what? They are compared to bower. Is there any word like is, or sorry, is there any word like, then is it used in order to make this comparison? Is this the word like, the word like, then are used? No. But indirectly, the beautiful things are compared to what? The bower. So what is a bower? The bower is the shady enclosure. What impact this bower has? Supposing you are going to the forest, you are walking or wandering, you are loitering here and there, you are very much so tired, then what you will do? You will be taking rest under the bower. You will be taking rest under the shady enclosure, where you are in the desert. This bower will be a kind of a boon. It will be a kind of blessing for you. Because when you are tired, you will be taking rest under the bower. Then it will be inducing you sleep. The sleep will be accompanied with the sweet dream, and your mind will be refreshed, and it will be again active for work. Therefore, the poet uses this comparison, and this comparison will be called what, my dear children? This will be called as the metaphor. Have you got it, my dear children? Therefore, metaphor is a figure of speech in which two different things are compared indirectly or in an implied manner. Here, the beautiful things which is having the beneficial impact on people are compared to the bower, as the bower has the capacity of inducing sleep to the people and bringing sweet dreams in the similar manner. Beautiful things also has the therapeutic, has the curing, has the healing quality in it, and because of that, this comparison or this metaphor, use of this metaphor is very appropriate. Is it correct, my dear children? I suppose you understood better. Now let us continue. Very simply put, yet poetic, Keats describes a thing of beauty as emanating joy forever. It is a spreading. Emanating means spreading. S-P-R-E-A-D-I-N-G, spreading. It is spreading or emanating joy forever. It's a beauty only increases, and it will never cease or stop. It will never cease or stop. The benefit proffered means offered by a thing of beauty are listed as given sound rest with good dreams and well-beings. Therefore, I suppose you understood the first 5 lines. Then let us move to the next. Here we go. So some of the questions in the first 5 lines are there. It is better to discuss some of the questions. So I will be putting the question, and I suppose you will be able to understand what will be the answer when the description is given. What does the poet mean by joy forever? Then you will be telling by the term, keep it in this double or single inverted comma, the term joy forever. By the term joy forever, the poet means the constant or never ending joy or unceasing joy that is caused by the beauteous aspect of things. Let us see the next one. How does its loveliness increases? Give a few examples from everyday life. Now you have to go to the practical life, and from the practical life you will have to draw some examples in order to tell that yes, the example of the daffodils, the example of the story of the grandmother, the story of the valor or the courage, the story of the martyrdom. All these are the example, and when we remember the stories of the sacrifice, the stories of the valor, the stories of the courage, then its loveliness increases as time passes. Therefore, loveliness increases. Then let us proceed. What is a bower and what effect does the beauty has on it according to the poet? So bower, you first give the definition of a bower. What is a bower? First you give that a definition. Bower is a shady enclosure, okay, where there is a bushes, small trees, okay, shady enclosure. And what is the effect of it? What is the impact of it? The impact is the beneficial or the positive impact. Impact is that it induces sleep. Sleep is accompanied by a sweet dream, and this sweet dream plus the sleep refresh the mind and the soul of everyone, including the poet. What impacts does the beauty have on us? Beauty has the impact of uplifting the soul and driving away the sorrows from the mind and refreshing it for further work. Then let us proceed to line number 6 to 12. Here we go. Let's proceed. Therefore, on every morrow are we reading a flowery venture to bind us to the earth, spite of despondence of the inhuman dearth of noble nature, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and overdarkened ways, made for our searching. Yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away to the pole from our dark spirit. So, dear children, I was telling you about the spiritual aspect of the beauty, what beauty has impacted in our spirit or the soul. So, what will be telling about the impact of the beauty in the spirit of the soul of man. So, in this part, we will notice that the poet is talking about the everyday activities of the people. Right in the morning, what we do in every morning, we are reading or we are making a flowery band. We are making a kind of a garland made of a flower, and the purpose of it is that we are rooting ourselves, or we are basing ourselves, we are binding ourselves, or we are confining ourselves to this earth. Means we become very much earth based. We become very much rooted to the earth. In spite of all the imagination, in spite of all the fancy, we are making the flowery band with the flower on the trees into the earth in order to make us very much rooted to the earth. Is it clear, my dear children? Spite of despondence means what? Despondence means M-E-L-A-N, melancholy. Melancholy. Melancholy means what? Sadness. Spite of despondence of inhuman dearth. Dearth means lack. L-A-C-K. Lack means minus. कुछ नहीं होना. Dearth of noble nature. So let us see this line. Let us make the analysis of this line. In this world, in the day-to-day world of us, what we notice is that there is a lack of noble nature which is very much inhuman. There is lack of noble nature which is inhuman, which is not humanly. Means a human being are supposed to be noble in nature, and this noble nature is a very much lacking, and which is a very much inhumanly. And moreover, there is a spite of despondence, means there is a sadness is there. Sadness is the way of the world. Sadness is very much a characteristic of the feature of this practical life. And in spite of all this, means besides all this, when we have the beauteous aspect, when we have the beautiful things, they have the capacity of taking away the pall of darkness, the cloud of sadness from the dark spirit, means the heavy spirit, in the heavy or sad spirit, sad soul of us. Why our soul becomes sad? The soul becomes sad because the soul could see the inhuman activity. What are the inhuman activity? The inhuman activity are the lack of the noble nature. So why that the soul is very much sad? Because it has seen despondence, or it has seen the melancholic note or the sad note that runs into the life of human being. Moreover, some of the other gloomy days are there. Gloomy means what? Dark or murky. Dark or M-A-R-K-Y, murky, gloomy. So indirect meaning is sad. Or the gloomy days. Okay, gloomy days means sad days. Means the days which are marked by tragedy, tragic days. Of all the unhealthy and overdarkened ways. Unhealthy and overdarkened ways. Ways means what? Ways means the rules. Ways means the manners. So some of the rules, some of the ways of the life is very much overdarkened with the unhealthy ways. Means there is in this world the unhealthy competition in the world, and because of this unhealthy competition in the modern times, life has become very gloomy or sad, made for our searching. Means all this unhealthy and overdarkened ways means all sort of competition that are the ways of our life. Yet, in spite of all this, means yet some shape of the beauty moves away to the pole from our dark spirit. So even though there are so many negative qualities like the tough competition, the dark ways, the lack of noble nature in human being, lack of generous or the large-hearted human being, because of, in spite of all this, what happened? Some of the beauty, which is the contribution of the God, take away the sadness from the mind of human being. So let us continue. Let us go for the meaning once again. So here we go. We see here the earth minor, the beautiful thing is despondent. This is very sad. So the earth, where there will be no beautiful thing, will be despondent. Spiteful place means a hateful place. Okay, it will be a hateful place. Hateful place, thriving in callous insensitive deer. So that will be flourishing, flourishing, means becoming very rich. Flourishing in callous insensitive dirt, that means lack, and it's a harsh toward human being. Every day human beings face gloomy days, packed up with unhealthy spite and darkness. However, in spite of all, a thing of beauty helps to remove the dark cloud and burdens our soul. That burdens our soul. Hence, the poet says that we human beings each day create a ornate band, flowery band, made of all the lovely things we see. This band keep us bound to the despondent earth, as we would otherwise be hopeless. Then let us see some of the question related to this particular paragraph. Let us continue. Here we go. What are the reading every morning? What is the warning in this statement? So reading here is the particular necklace or the garland that we are going to make through the flower collected from this earth. That is called the reading. Reading is the kind of the garland, Garland, garland. Garland made of the flowers. Now, my dear children, this is very important. This is quite important. I marked it with red. So, what is the kind of the warning given in this statement? The poet actually meant to tell that yes, of course, there is the beauty, there is the external beauty, and you should not be bewitched, you should not be impressed, you should not be forgetful about the other form of the beauty. What is that? The inner beauty or the spiritual beauty. One should not be duped or cheated by the external beauty, because appearance is very much deceptive. Therefore, one should always target the spiritual beauty. One should always target the inner beauty. Therefore, that is the kind of the warning that the writer wanted to give in this line. What is made for our searching? Searching here means what? Searching means our living. Means, so all this overdarkened ways, gloomy day, ignoble nature, inhuman dirt, the despondency, all these are the ways of our life. That is the norms of the life. That is the norms, N-O-R, norms. That are the ways. Okay, that are the rules of life. Therefore, let us continue to the next part of the lesson. Here we go. Move. Line number 20 to 24. Now the poet will be giving some example, the concrete example, okay? Concrete examples of beauty. In the exam also you will be asked the question, give the example of the beauty expressed in the poem. These are very, very simple. Such that the sun, that the moon, trees the old and young, sprouting a shady boon, for simple sheep and such are daffodils with the green world they live in. Now let us only concentrate on this 3-4 examples. So these are the unique thing in the world. One is the sun. Only one is there in the world, sun. There is the moon. It has its own beauty. Okay. There are the trees, all type of the trees, young and the old. They are sprouting. They are sprouting the shady boon. Boon means the gift. Okay. They are making what? Shady boon. This may be the GROOVE groove. That means the shady enclosure. That means the bower that we got into the initial part. That means these trees, old or young, the trees, small or great, small or big, they made what? They made the shady enclosure for the tired travelers. For the simple sheep and such a daffodils with the green world they live in. So we are talking about the daffodils. We have given the example also. They live in the world of the green, and there is the clear rill, the water spring. All these are the examples of the beautiful things that drive away the pall of darkness from our minds. So let us continue. And clear rills, let us start from here. For simple sheep and such are daffodils, with the green world they live in, and the clear rills for themselves a cooling covert make against the hot season. Let us see this part. So you have seen the example of the daffodils. So they live in the green world. They become the constant or ever ending or never ending source of joy. Again, there is the clear rill or the brook or the rivulet, RIVULET, means the spring, SPRING, Panika Jharna. Okay. Again, there is the source of water, or the brook or the rill. What does the rill do? They do what? This is a kind of covert. A clear rill that for themselves a cooling covert make a hiding place for many of the animals against the hot season. During the summertime, it becomes a hiding place for many of the animals. The mid forest break. This break is thicket, THICKET, thicket. Rich with the sparkling of fair musk bloom, and such too is the grandeur of the dooms. So you have seen, this is the part that we see in nature. So we see the clear rill or the spring, we see the daffodil and the green world, the leaf, we see the thicket, or we see the break, we see the fair musk rose of blooms. All these are the beauteous aspect of nature. Now let us see some part of the beauty, which are the inner beauty. What are the type? And such too is the grandeur of the doom, and we have imagined for the mighty dead a lovely tales that you have heard or read, an immortal or endless fountain of mortal drink pouring unto us from the heavens brink, from the brink or the edge of the heaven. So the second part of the next part of the beauty or the beauteous form is the grandeur of the doom. Doom means what? Doom is the destruction. DESTRUCTION, destruction. Means those people who died earlier, those people who become the martyrs for the great cause of the country, those people who laid down their life for the cause of the country, they are called the dooms. And grandeur means grand quality. Why grandeur is associated with the doom, or why grandeur or the grandness is associated with or related to the mighty death? Because their death inspire people to be martyrs, inspire people to lay down their life for the cause of the country. It is their life that makes the people patriotic. Therefore, grandeur is associated with doom. All lovely tales that we have heard or read. Now, all this lovely tales mean stories. So, whatever stories we have heard about, the stories are stories, okay, into the book, either in the religious book or into the classics or into the novels or into the dramas. Whatever stories we have heard, the stories of the valor, stories of the courage, stories of the sacrifice, all these stories are the endless fountain or the spring, endless fountain or the spring which as if is brought from the edge or the side of the heaven, means heaven's brink means from the aspect from the side of the God. From the side of the God, this is brought, this is a precious gift that is brought from God, and it is for the humans, because this is actually dealt with the mighty death, or it is actually related to the sacrifice. Therefore, let us continue. This closing paragraph simply tells us some of the beautiful things on earth. Some of the beautiful things on earth. After beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Everyone can highlight something beautiful in anything. The examples cited by the poet are the sun, the moon, the trees, flowers, streams, the master blooms, architectural sepulchres, even fairy tales, heroic legends. The simple sheep are human beings. The poet sympathizes with the innocence of human beings. The poet Keats sees the beauty in innocent human, seeking solace in nature. Mother Nature in its own ways proud a steady abode of relief and consolation. Now in line number 20 to 24, we will see some of the important questions, and after seeing the questions, we will move to the textual questions for our understanding and appreciation. Let us see the questions. Here we go. And such too is the grandeur of the dooms we have imagined for the mighty dead. All lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal drink pouring from the heavens bring. Let us see the question, what makes the stories of the death of great men and women grand? Let us see this answer. So the answer here will be, what makes the stories of the sacrifice great? How it makes grand? So now when we read the stories of the sacrifice, then we are also very much promoted. We are also promoted or led to what? Led to patriotism. We are also inspired to lay down our life for a great cause. Maybe that the cause of the country, maybe the cause of the human being, maybe for the greater cause. Therefore, any stories or the tale, any story or the tale or tales, they inspire people, they inspire the next generation or the future generation to become great, and therefore the grandeur or the greatness is associated with the stories of the past or the tales of the. We have imagined for a mighty death. Let us see this second line. And such to the grandeur of the doom we have imagined for the mighty death or lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal drink pouring from the heavens bring. Whose lovely tales is referred to in the third line. Lovely tales, actually the tales of the valor, V-A-L-O-U-R, valor, tells of the courage, that tells of the sacrifice, tells of the sacrifice. The stories, all these stories are very much inspiring, or they motivate us to live our life for the cause of the country. Therefore, they are very much inspiring stories. What does immortal drink mean in the fourth line? Immortal drink is a kind of nectar. Okay, nectar. So in the legend you will hear. So because of this Amrut, there was a fight between the gods. This is so precious a thing, and this particular tales are also a wreath. They are the kind of the Amrut, or the immortal drink, or the nectar that comes from, specially from the side of God, or the each or the brink of heaven. I suppose you understood the poem. So the explanation of the poem is finished now. I suppose you understood. Now it is better to go to some of the question and answers. So let us see some of the questions. One important question here is, what makes human beings love life in spite of all travels? What makes human beings love life in spite of all travels? So we are talking about the life. In life is just like the coin. Okay, it has both the side of sadness, side of happiness. Happiness is the way of life, and some of the aspect of the nature, they contribute to the removing of the gloom or the darkness from our heavy heart, and therefore it makes life to be lived. Means it makes life suitable for living just by removing or driving away the pole of darkness or the cloud of darkness from it. And this is the beneficial impact of the beauteous aspect of life. So in spite of all the sufferings, a beautiful thing help us to remove the cover of the gloom or darkness from our life. Let us see the next question. So some of the important questions here are, how do the daffodils and the clear rills enrich our environment? Daffodils are lovely white flowers. Daffodils are lovely white flowers that bloom in green surrounding. The clear stream of water creates cooling comfort or passes for themselves as they pass through the thick bushes and ward away the heat of the sun. So I suppose you understood the lesson, you understood the question and answer, you understood the line by line meaning of the lesson. So you also understood the figure of speech. Therefore you enjoyed this poem, a thing of beauty, and this become a permanent asset or a property for whole of your life, because this is a never-ending source of joy. It actually makes you familiar with the beauteous aspect of life contributed by nature and also contributed by God. My dear children, this is the end of the lesson. We will meet you in the next lesson. Till then, bye bye and have a very good day.